I want to share something that has genuinely changed my life over the past 90 days. You see, I embarked on a little experiment with intermittent fasting, and I'm here to tell you all about it. The ups, the downs, the surprises, and the lessons learned. So grab a snack, or maybe don't, because we're diving into the truth about intermittent fasting. Let's start at the beginning. I had been hearing about intermittent fasting everywhere. Social media, podcasts, even my friends were raving about it. The concept seemed simple enough. You eat during specific windows of time and fast during others. It sounded intriguing, but I was skeptical. I mean, who wouldn't be? We've been told for years that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? But as I dug deeper, I found research that suggested intermittent fasting could have numerous benefits, from weight loss to improved mental clarity. So, I decided to give it a shot. I kicked off my 90-day experiment with a clear goal in mind. I wanted to see if I could lose a few pounds, improve my energy levels, and maybe even sharpen my focus. I opted for the 16-8 method, which means I would fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window. For me, that meant skipping breakfast and having my first meal at noon. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could I possibly skip breakfast? Isn't that just torture? But here's the thing, I'm not a morning person. I've never been one. So, the idea of not having to think about food in the morning was oddly liberating. The first week was a bit of a struggle, I won't lie. I woke up every morning feeling a little hungry, and I had to resist the temptation to grab a snack. But as the days went by, something miraculous happened. My body began to adjust. I found that I wasn't as hungry as I thought I would be. In fact, I started to feel more energized. It was like my body was finally learning to tap into its fat stores for fuel instead of relying on constant snacking. I was surprised to find that I could focus better during my work hours too. I wasn't constantly distracted by thoughts of what I was going to eat next. As I settled into the routine, I began to experiment with my eating window. I learned that I could have my last meal at 8 p.m. and then not eat again until noon the next day. I started planning my meals more thoughtfully, focusing on whole foods, lean proteins, and plenty of vegetables. I also discovered that I had more time in the mornings. Without the need to prepare breakfast, I could focus on my morning routine, which was a game changer. My morning routine. This is where the magic really happened. I developed a simple 5-minute routine that set a positive tone for my day. It started with a glass of water. Hydration is key, especially after a night of fasting. I would drink that water while taking a few deep breaths just to center myself. Then, I'd spend a minute or two stretching. Nothing too intense, just enough to wake up my body and get the blood flowing. I'd follow that up with a quick gratitude practice. I'd think of 3 things I was grateful for that morning. It could be anything from the sunshine streaming through my window to the delicious meal I was planning for lunch. This practice shifted my mindset from a place of scarcity to one of abundance, and it made a noticeable difference in my outlook on life. Finally, I'd take a moment to set my intentions for the day. What did I want to accomplish? What feelings did I want to cultivate? This simple act of reflection helped me feel more grounded and focused as I moved into the rest of my day. I found that I was more productive and less reactive. Instead of rushing into my day with a million thoughts swirling in my head, I was able to approach my tasks with clarity and purpose. Now, let's talk about the food. One of the biggest misconceptions I had about intermittent fasting was that I could eat whatever I wanted during my eating window. While it's true that you have more flexibility, I quickly learned that the quality of my food mattered. I couldn't just binge on junk and expect to feel good. I began to prioritize nutrient-dense meals that fueled my body rather than weighed it down. I experimented with different recipes, discovered new flavors, and enjoyed the process of cooking more than ever. I remember one particular day when I made a delicious quinoa salad with roasted vegetables and chickpeas. It was colorful, filling, and packed with protein. I felt like a culinary genius. And the best part? I didn't feel guilty about eating it because I was nourishing my body. I learned that intermittent fasting wasn't just about restricting food. It was about making better choices and developing a healthier relationship with food. As the weeks turned into months, I started to notice some significant changes. My energy levels were through the roof. I was no longer experiencing that mid-afternoon slump that had plagued me for years. My focus improved, and I felt more productive at work. I even started working out more consistently. I had more energy to hit the gym, and I found that I could push myself harder during my workouts. It was like a switch had flipped, and I was finally able to tap into the potential I had been missing. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There were challenges along the way. Social situations became tricky. I had to navigate dinners with friends, parties, and family gatherings while sticking to my fasting schedule. There were times when I felt left out, especially when everyone around me was indulging in delicious food. It required a lot of mental fortitude to stay committed, but I learned to communicate my goals to my friends and family. They were supportive, and I found that I could still enjoy socializing without compromising my commitment to my health. Another challenge was the occasional hunger pang. There were days when I felt ravenous, and it took everything in me not to cave and snack before noon. I learned to listen to my body. Though, if I was truly hungry, I would reassess my eating window. Sometimes, I'd adjust it to better suit my needs. It wasn't about strict rules. It was about finding what worked for me. I realized that flexibility was key to maintaining this lifestyle long-term. As I approached the end of my 90-day experiment, I decided to take stock of my progress. I stepped on the scale, and to my surprise, I had lost a noticeable amount of weight. But more importantly, I felt lighter. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. I had developed a healthier relationship with food, learned to appreciate my body, and gained a newfound sense of confidence. The experiment had transformed me in ways I never expected. So, what's the truth about intermittent fasting? It's not a magic bullet or a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a tool, a framework that can help you develop healthier habits and a more mindful approach to eating. It's about finding balance, understanding your body, and making choices that serve you. I've learned that consistency is key, but so is flexibility. Life happens, and it's okay to adjust your routine when needed. Intermittent fasting isn't just about the hours you spend eating and fasting. It's about the mindset you cultivate around food and health. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your habits and create a lifestyle that feels good for you. If you're considering trying it out, I encourage you to approach it with an open mind. Experiment, find what works for you, and don't be afraid to make adjustments along the way. And that 5-minute morning routine? It's a game changer. It's a small investment of time that pays off in big ways. It sets the tone for your day, helps you stay grounded, and reminds you of what truly matters. I can't recommend it enough. As I wrap up this monologue, I want to leave you with this. Your journey is unique, and it's important to honor that. Whether you decide to try intermittent fasting, adopt a new morning routine, or simply make small changes in your daily life, remember that progress is progress, no matter how small. Celebrate your wins, learn from your challenges, and keep moving forward. You've got this.